I've dreaded doing this video for reasons that will soon be very clear. It is going to be very difficult to talk about and to listen to. But ever since Israel's Western-facilitated genocide against the Palestinian people began, I said consistently, don't look away. We don't look away because we have to bear witness and we have to hold to account not just the Israeli state, but the Western states which have armed and facilitated these indescribably horrific crimes, which I'm going to detail, and the Western media outlets which have enabled these crimes. I'm going to go through the latest reports of atrocities committed by Israeli soldiers against Palestinians. And a warning, this is like opening a door into the darkest recesses of hell. You will rightly ask yourself how any human being could possibly imagine these crimes, let alone actually perpetrate them. These are reports from Palestinian survivors of both physical and sexual violence committed against them by the Israeli military, as well as testimonies from Israeli soldiers themselves. I'm going to start by discussing the use of dogs to commit sexual violence against Palestinian detainees. And I'm afraid to say that the evidence for this indescribably depraved crime is absolutely overwhelming. Euromed Monitor, an NGO based in Geneva, have just released a report which is titled Another Genocide Behind Walls: Sexual Violence in Israeli Prisons and Detention Centres and Engineered Impunity. They carry the testimony of 35-year-old Amir, who was detained by the Israeli army at the notorious Sdi Taiman detention camp. He testifies the following: I was detained in Sdi Taiman. They took a group of detainees and me to a corridor between the sections and forced us to strip completely naked. The soldiers brought in several dogs. One of them urinated on me. One of the dogs then raped me, penetrated my anus in a trained manner while I was being beaten. This continued for several minutes. I felt profoundly humiliated and violated. They then report the testimony of another 35-year-old Palestinian former detainee in the same camp, who says the following: we heard dogs barking in the area, and from time to time, the dogs would urinate on us while we were detained in the metal cages. The shock came when they forced me to lie down, and a dog climbed on top of me and tried to insert its penis into me. At first, I did not understand what was happening, but then I realized I was being raped. I was completely naked with no clothes on. I felt the dog's fluids on my body. I tried to resist, but I was handcuffed and the space was so small that I could not move. Two of them were holding me down tightly. This went on for 3 to 4 minutes. Last November, another NGO, the Palestinian Center for Human Rights, also released a report carrying the testimonies